you, you've heard the expression, I thought I died and gone to heaven. That's the way I feel tonight. Here I am back in my home church. I'm at TLC, which is such a wonderful ministry. I see so many familiar faces that have been working in TLC for 25 years. But I also see many new faces, and that's so exciting. It has just been a wonderful evening, and when Joyce called me and asked me, would I please be the speaker for the 25th birthday of TLC, I said, Joyce, you know I can't stand up there and speak. I said, I can't stand that long. She said, you don't have to worry. I'll have you a chair up there. You can sit down and speak. And I said, well, what do you want me to talk about? I said, do you want me to talk about just all TLC or what? She said, I just want you to talk about your life and the changes that you've seen in your life, just what you've experienced. And I said, well, now, you know, Joyce, that's going to be all about God, because he's been in charge of my life. And I've made a lot of changes, and I've sometimes wondered about it, but I know that God was saying, yeah, it's time to do this. And I have said, yes, and I know that he knows what is best. Well, let me just tell you a little bit about TLC, since that's one of my favorite subjects. But when I retired, one of the first things I did was to come to Master Life. I had never been able to take Master Life, and Bill Deaton was here, and he was having it in the mornings, and that would be good. I could come to that. So I came to Master Life, and that was a wonderful experience, sharing and learning scripture and learning more about witnessing. And in the meantime, while all that was going on, because I had retired, my sister in Spartanburg, Carolyn, sent me brochures about Ladies First Thursday, which was in Spartanburg. And I was fascinated by it because it was just something just for ladies. And it was a message, and they had speakers come in, and I thought, well, I'm just going to see if I can get a few people in a Sunday school class or friends that would like to go. And so I did it. What I didn't know was that when you got a ticket, you went on a Wednesday before the meeting, on Thursday the next week. And you went and you could not get the ticket until 4 o'clock. And whoever was closest to the office would be the first one there. Now, all of you that know me know I like to be first in line. So I would leave Gaffney, and I would go and be in Spartanburg and sitting on the library steps at 2 o'clock. And I would sit there, and I'm telling you, that place would fill up. All these ladies would keep coming in and coming in. But I was there. And as soon as the door opened, I was in there buying the first tickets. Well, we loved going, and it was a wonderful experience. And so by word of mouth would say, well, would you like to go when they have it again? And to make a long story short, there was a time when I bought 80 tickets. And I went over and brought them back, and we had worked out the transportation. Everybody had their tickets, and we would go. Well, when you did Master Life, there was a ministry that you were to do, or you'd pick out to do. Well, I had already decided, and had done it several times, to do devotionals at the nursing home. And I had done that, and I had decided that that would be what I would do. But Bill Dickman said to me, Frankie, why in the world would you go over and buy 80 tickets and do that with this many people coming? Why don't you start something like that in Gaffney? I said, are you kidding me? He said, I'm serious about it. I said, well, I'm just like Moses. I don't know what to say. I don't think I could do that. He said, you need to do that. And so, with a lot of prayer, with a lot of support, and I will say this, At that time, we still have the kitchen committee, but that kitchen committee that was there in place right then, Gene Guthrie, can't mention a lot of names, I'll leave out to me. But I remember them giving us money because they had some extra money to help us buy the things that we would need. Now, I couldn't have done this and bought all this without my good friend Sarah Bonner that's over here. Sarah was the driver, and Sarah took me to the places that I needed to go. And we picked out the china, we picked out the silver, we picked out the things that we would need, and she was just such a great help. She's a part of this TLC when you use the setting of the table and everything else that was involved. And she was a wonderful helper for me at that time. Well, we were thinking about how we were going to do all this after we were given money. We had fundraisers and things of that sort. In Spartanburg, their Ladies First Thursday was in the budget, and they were given money to do that. And so whenever they had the business meeting here at First Baptist, and this was when Dr. McKinney was there, and they had a business meeting, and I went to the business meeting, and I asked if it was possible for TLC to be as a designated kid. Well, it was discussed among the ones that should be involved in, the deacons, people there. And God just spoke to me and said, stand up and just say that it's all right, that will be okay, that we can make it, if you will just let us use the facility, and that would be all that we would need. And so, with that was settled. And from there, God just led the way.